Hello everybody, this is voiceover. So if you just hear for the steps on how to rebuild your fuel pump, you can just ignore it. But that being said, just wanted to say that when I was rebuilding this fuel pump and I put it back, the engine was still failing. And I thought it was the lower unit, so I was gonna take the lower unit off. And as soon as I took it off, I had to I had to take the fuel pump off again. And as soon as I took it out, I saw fuel coming from the suction hose, like the pulsing hose, also called. And that shouldn't happen. You should never have fuel on the part that does the admission or the pulsing or suction, however you want to call it, because has to be a pressure chamber to make the pulse of the diaphragm so that the pump pumps fuel into the engine, and it should always be dry. So I thought that just made me think about all my engine problems. I had smoky exhaust. I had rough idling. I was not getting into wide open throttle. Every time that I got the boat in gear inside the water, it was still bugging and just shutting off. And I thought to myself, well, every time I start up the motor, it starts up good, but as soon as it gets warm, it starts failing. So that just made me think, if fuel is getting into the pulsing system, we shouldn't go. That fuel is gonna go straight to the crankcase, to the block, and that fuel is filling up the cylinders in an uncontrolled manner. So that's the root of my problem. Everything came from that. That's what in cold start the engine will do so good, because it still didn't have enough fuel fill into the cylinders to start failing. But as soon as that pump will start pumping in fuel straight into the block, that's when I started having all these misfires and failures and shutting offs and buggings and all of that. So everything came from the connecting rod of this fuel pump, which connects both diaphragms. As you can see, there is like two rubber diaphragms, and they're connected with the connecting rod, and that connecting rod goes through a hole in the center of this fuel pump, as you can see. And that hole has to be tight sealed. It has to seal the connecting rod. If it's not, then fuel gets through and goes straight to